Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a lap guide for the current lap time challenge taking place at Dragon Trail Seaside with any Group 3 car on the racing hard tires. For this video, I'll be using the 2018 Nissan GT-R GT3. So to access this lap time challenge, going over to Sport Mode, so make sure you have menu book number 9 completed. And go ahead and click on the online time trial towards the middle of the screen, and you'll see the current lap time challenge hanging out towards the middle, at least at the time of the making this video. So your goal is to go within the 3% time range when the event ends, as when the event ends, that's when your lap time gets counted, and hopefully you'll get the 2 million credits by finishing within the 3% time range of the world record time. This event ends at the end of October 4th, 2023. BOP is turned on, and no, you cannot tune your car, but you do want to be careful about going off the track or colliding with any walls, as they will invalidate your time. But now let's go over to the lap guide, where when you're starting your lap, you can take this final turn a bit wide. That way you can give yourself a little more space to build up a bit more speed and get a faster start to your new lap. And I'm in the 2018 Nissan GT-R, as this car is a bit more drivable for me compared to the Supra. The Supra, I'm not a big fan of it, so I went with this car instead. So go ahead and take turn 1 flat out, but stay towards the right side of the track, because you're going to brake when the red area on the right starts. So this is at around the 150 meter board. Full braking power, making your way down to second gear, turn in at the 50 meter board and ease off of the brakes as you're turning in, so doing a bit of trail braking. Right as you hit this first apex, this is where you want to go up to third gear, but you want to be really careful with your throttle input to make sure that you don't spin out. And you can see me doing a little lifting off our throttle so I can turn in a bit more and keep control of the car at the same time. This right kink can be taken flat out, but you have to get your turn in just right. So I'm turning in right around here, and just like that I'm able to take a flat out, but not an easy thing to do. Then brake just before the grass on the left starts. Full braking power and make your way down to second gear. Turn in before the curb on the left ends, and as you hit the apex, you want to shift up to third gear and just carefully get back on the throttle. And these racing hard tires makes it really easy to generate wheel spin, so again, be nice and careful getting back on the throttle. Then brake just after you pass this orange barrier that is on the right. Go down to fourth gear, and you can let the car coast for a moment, so no braking, no throttle input, to let the car turn in a bit more. But once you hit the apex, you want to get back on the throttle and try to take these S's flat out. Bring yourself towards the left, staying on 5th gear. Do not use 6th gear in the GT-R. You're braking at the 150 meter board, so basically where this curb on the left starts. Full braking power and make your way down to 2nd gear. Use the 50 meter board as your turning point. Shift up to 3rd gear as you hit the apex, and you want to feather in the throttle. That way you can gain some speed, but also reduce the chance of getting some wheel spin. For this first chicane, you can easily take a flat out, but for the chicane of death, you want to turn in when you're passing this Marshall stand that is on the right, and do a little lifting off our throttle to adjust your turn in. You want to try to go through the chicane of death in as straight of a line as possible. That way you can maintain as much speed as possible. And again, just don't touch the wall so you don't get your lap time invalidated. But anyways, final braking point is going to be at around the 125 meter mark. So brake as much as you can. Make your way down to 2nd gear. Use a 50 meter board as your turning point. Just ease off of the brakes as you're turning in, so doing a bit of trail braking. Let the car coast for a moment so it can turn in a bit more. Then shift up to 3rd gear and just carefully get back on the throttle. Now we'll go through this again, but this time I will not stop the video. Alright, so we're about to start the clip, but this time I'm not gonna stop it. So stay on 5th gear for the 2018 Nissan GT-R. Do not use 6th gear. Look for the 150 meter board on the right, as that is your first braking point. 50 meter board for your turning point. Go down to 2nd gear for more turn in, but go up to 3rd gear as you exit the first half of the chicane. Just being really careful with your throttle input. This right kink can be taken flat out, but you have to get your turn in just right, then brake before the grass on the left starts. Down to 2nd gear for more rotation, but exit on 3rd gear. Just be nice and careful getting back on the throttle. For the start of the S's, go down to 4th gear, and you just want to let the car roll through this first part of the S's, then take the rest of it flat out. Just try not to go too wide so you don't scrub up any momentum. There we go. So go ahead and stay towards the left side of the track again. Stay on 5th gear, brake at the 150 meter board. Use the 50 meter board as your turning point. Go down to 2nd gear for more rotation, but exit on 3rd gear and just slowly feed into throttle input so you don't get any wheel spin. For the chicane of death, look for the Marshall stand on the right as that is your turning point. Do a little lifting off our throttle and try to go through the chicane of death in as straight of a line as possible to maintain maximum momentum. For the final braking point, 125 meters, go down to 2nd gear for more rotation. Let the car coast for a moment so it can turn in a bit more. Exit on 3rd gear and just carefully get back on the throttle and finish your lap. And with that, I was able to get a 137.574. So we'll see how this lap time compares as the event goes on, but that is going to be it for this video. So this is Mr. MCA, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.